blistering speed, amazing technique, unstoppable feet. These are the fastest footballers on the planet at the moment, and in number 10 is a young lad who is helping to change the face of the Italian Serie A. Theo Hernandez of AC Milan has been amazing since swapping Real Madrid for the Italian Giants. Now everybody wants a piece of the saucy, silky left-back and are climbing over themselves to sign him. Makes me wonder why Real Madrid couldn't give him a chance to develop into Marcelo's heir. You see, Hernandez has a lot of qualities, but his most defining one is his speed. This year, he hit a top speed of 35.7 km an hour as he was storming down the left wing for AC Milan. The lad is just 25 and can move to a faster-paced league like the Premier League later in his future. Imagine the speeds he could be hitting. Now everyone knows Hernandez, but many are just getting to know the guy in our number 9 spot. Now, Raphal Silva has spent all of his career in Portugal, and that's why his talent has not really been noticed. But in the football-mad nation that gave us speed demons like Cristiano Ronaldo, Luis Nani, and Ricardo Quaresma, Raphal Silva is highly rated. The 29-year-old is enjoying one of his best seasons with Benfica. His goal output is at its best, and his assist numbers are also really great. But his speed is something crazy. When Rafa is on the run, it's quite a task to try and stop the man. It looks like he's getting better with age because his top speed of 35.9 km an hour is still shocking even to Benfica fans, who have had him wear their shirt since 2016. Talk about a late bloomer. The player in the number 8 spot is another one who has been around the block but is still getting his clout. And if not for his speed, many still may not have paid attention to the talented Musa Diabe. When you play for Paris Saint-Germain and don't make headlines, it can sometimes feel like you're doing something wrong. But to have grown up in that famous academy and played in the first team definitely proves that you've done something right, even if you eventually moved on to another club. The talents of Kylian Mbappe, Neymar, Angel Di Maria, and many more did not allow the young Diabe to shine. But at Bayer Leverkusen, he's getting some attention. But after hitting a top speed of 36.1 km an hour, everybody wants a piece of him. Possessing speed, agility, strength, and creativity, Diabe is one for the future. Just like the player who occupies our number 7 spot. When Kareem Adeyemi first came to the spotlight at Red Bull Salzburg, everybody thought, ooh, another Erling Haaland. Well, they weren't entirely wrong, even though the comparisons are a bit off. For one, Adeyemi is a small guy, and his frame is not built for physicality. But in ground duels and dribbles, the lad is almost unstoppable, and the key weapon in his arsenal is speed. If Adeyemi gets some space, he will run circles around the opposition defense. He was doing just that when he clocked in at 36.1 km an hour this year. And to think that he's now at Dortmund to take over from Haaland in the same season that he left for Manchester City. I can smell what the BVB are cooking. Adeyemi is smashing stuff up at Dortmund, but this next player in the number 6 spot is someone even he has a hard time against. I'm talking about none other than the Roadrunner himself, Alfonso Davies. When the team was preparing this video, it was a shock to see that Davies was not going to be number 1 on the list. The Alfonso Davies, the same guy who has been the fastest player in the world since his debut, the same guy who locked up Haaland, Lionel Messi, Luis Suarez, Neymar, Mbappe, who was going to be faster than him? Well, we'll get to that, but one thing that's still impressive is that Davies will be making these types of lists for the rest of his career. Now, his top speed of 36.2 km an hour this year is something light as far as he's concerned, because he's previously hit speeds of 36.51 km an hour. But to think that he can constantly hit speeds that high even when he's not trying, the world is not ready. And the world is not ready for the amazing content that the Halftime Club has to share either. So why don't you prepare yourself for the blitz by clicking the subscribe button now? If you blink, you'll miss greatness, but not if you click the button. And give this video a like while you're at it too. Arsenal talent Nuno Tavares is in the number 5 spot after clocking speeds of 36.2 km an hour. I'm sure Arsenal fans will be very surprised that the lad can pull this off, but if they are, then I'll have to question their ball knowledge, because Mikel Arteta knew he possessed the speed force within him when he signed him from Benfica in 2021. He struggled to adapt to his new club, so Arteta did what he does best, sent him on loan to get minutes. Arsenal played in the UEFA Europa League, but Tavares played in the Champions League, which was a step up to be honest. And that spurred him to give his all as he hit that incredible speed. Arsenal fans are rubbing their palms and licking their lips at what could be when Tavares returns to the club next season. He'd especially be important for them if they end up in the Champions League next season and face off against the guy in the number 4 spot. Real Madrid may have lost some wind in their sails when Cristiano Ronaldo and Gareth Bale left the club, but then they brought in Vinicius Jr. But this season, even Vinny Jr. has not been able to touch the helm of Federico Valverde's garment. The guy plays everywhere. Defense, attack, midfield, half spaces, roaming spaces. If you look, you'll see Valverde there, and if you pass the ball, there's a possibility that he'll get there before the ball settles. What a beast. Of course, to be able to play like that, he must possess incredible speed. That's why his 36.3 km/h top speed is not surprising. And with his evolution still happening, we may see him hitting 40 km/h soon. Now imagine Fede Valverde and the guy in the number 3 spot running at your attack. AC Milan have really built from the ground up in the past years. They went from being European giants to being has-beens and are now back on top as the defending champions of the Serie A. Everything is going silky smooth for them at the moment, and Raphael Lautaro is one of the biggest reasons for it. Since signing for the Rossoneri in 2019, the same year his fellow speed demon Theo Hernandez signed, he's been phenomenal. He had a slow start, but just as he peaked, so did Milan. Now everyone wants him. Real Madrid, Chelsea, Barcelona, Manchester City, it's going to take all they have to keep him until 2024 when his contract expires. And after he hit a top speed of 36.5 km/h alongside his brilliant performances, it's going to be even harder. Reminds me of how the guy in the number 2 spot used to be. When Osmond Dembele was coming up, he was everything that Raphael Lautaro was and more. Insanely fast, tricky, good with both feet, excellent decision making. But along the line, the man kind of lost it. His dream move to Barcelona started to look like a nightmare. Then along came Xavi to set him right, and now we're seeing flashes of the Osmond Dembele who everyone wanted to sign back in 2017. He still needs some work, but his performances under Xavi have impressed everybody that they are all considering taking him off Barcelona's hands. His top speed of 36.6 km/h this year is also the fastest he has ever been in his career. Xavi, what did you add in your stew for Dembele? I want some of it. The player in the number 1 spot is there not because he's faster than Dembele, but because he's special. Mikhailo Mudryk hit the same speed as Dembele, but his story is pretty amazing. You see, Mikhailo is still a greenhorn in the game, but since his debut at the age of 17 in 2018, he's been drawing attention. The Shakhtar Donetsk winger is crazy fast, insanely good with both feet, and very creative. But just as he was making waves for himself, the Ukraine war struck. Mudryk has now had to take a back seat because the world does not get to watch him play football often. But nothing has changed for Mudryk. He's still crazy fast, insanely good with both feet and still very creative. And when he matched Dembele's speed in the Champions League, everybody and their lawyers sat up. Now he's even rumoured to be attracting €100 million bids. Now that's money that could change a lot of things for Shakhtar Donetsk, especially in these trying times. Now would be a good time to see this video on how Dembele got his mojo back at Barcelona. Click this video for more.